Hey you, yeah you, are you failing all your quizzes because you can't learn about the circulatory system? Well, congratulations, this is the right video for you. To start off, there are two circulatory systems, the open circulatory system and the closed circulatory system. The function of both types of circulatory systems are to transport nutrients and remove wastes in different parts of the organism that it supports. In the open circulatory system, there are no vessels. So instead, hemolymph, which is a fluid composed of blood and other fluids, flows and covers the body tissues. Since these organisms don't have a heart, which helps move the blood, the organisms have to keep on physically moving in order for the hemolymph to move as well. Here is a clip of a grasshopper. As you can see, it is constantly moving in order for the hemolymph in its body to move as well. Us humans have a closed circulatory system. This is where blood is enclosed in vessels. There are three types of vessels: veins, arteries, and capillaries. Veins contain deoxygenated blood which always flows to the heart. Arteries contain oxygenated blood which always flows away from the. Lastly, capillaries are areas where arteries become veins. This is because nearby body cells take in the oxygen and nutrients from the arteries and give the arteries back carbon dioxide and wastes, which causes the arteries to become a vein. The animals that have a closed circulatory system, usually vertebrates such as mammals, fish, and reptiles, along with invertebrates such as earthworms. The regents likes to trick kids into thinking that, since grasshoppers and earthworms are insects, if a grasshopper has an open circulatory system, then so should an earthworm. However, this is not true. Here is an example of a regent's problem which reads, an open circulatory system is an adaptation for transport in the answer to this is a grasshopper, but like I said, some students may get confused between a grasshopper and earthworm. Now lastly, we will be talking about the flow of blood in a closed circulatory system. First we have to talk about the four chambers of the heart: right atrium, right ventricle, left atrium and left ventricle. Remember, there are openings between the right atrium and right ventricle, and between the left atrium and the left ventricle. These are called valves. However, there are no opening between the left and right side of the heart, and that is because there is deoxygenated blood on the left side and oxygenated blood on the right, and it would not be good if they mixed. That is why there is a wall called a septum which separates the left and right side of the heart from mixing. Now we will be taking a look at where blood flows in the body. It starts off at the vena cava vein coming from different parts of the body. The blood then enters the heart into the right atrium, then it goes across the tricuspid valve into the right ventricle. From there it enters the pulmonary artery which goes to the lungs. Inside the lungs, carbon dioxide is exchanged for oxygen, and the oxygenated blood goes through the pulmonary vein back to the heart. Now lastly, the blood goes back to the heart into the left atrium, then across the valve to the left ventricle, then through the aorta, which is the main artery, back to the body, where the cycle repeats. Now we will be moving on to the respiratory system. The main function of the respiratory system is to make sure oxygen enters in the body and carbon dioxide goes out. Now let's talk about what happens when you inhale and exhale. When you inhale, oxygen passes from alveoli to blood by diffusion. The alveoli is a small air sac in the lungs. When you exhale, carbon dioxide passes from blood to alveoli by diffusion. Gas diffusion happens when gases move from high to low concentration. The respiratory system not only helps with the balance of carbon dioxide and oxygen, but it also helps balance ATP production. For example, when you exercise, your body requires more ATP. Your body also takes in more oxygen and removes more carbon dioxide.